so I haven't decided if I should film the intro separately or if this is it.
No, I feel like this is maybe the intro.
This is the intro. Matt, who are you?
Intro. Oh, what? I'm Matt, also sometimes known as Blade Runner, without an E.
We occasionally play TFT. We're gonna do a tier list, this thing, of just our opinion, and just our opinion. We're basically ranking all of the classes and elements from TFT in this wonderful A-S to F tier list, and it's going to be a wonderful time. My plan so far is basically I'm going to put them where I think they go, and then you can tell me why I'm wrong.
I like that. I'm down.
By you, I don't only mean Matt, I also mean the viewer. You can also tell us why we're wrong, because that's totally, we're going to be wrong.
Leave it in the comments.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to fucking come in defending Woodland or some shit.
Of course it's going to happen. It's going to be great. Everyone's favorite's going to get shit on, and everyone's least favorite's going to be S tier. Here we go.
Let's get it.
We're going to start with Mystic. All allies gain increased magic resist. There's like 4 of them.
Yeah, and I believe it's a 2/4 buff.
Yeah, and 2 of them are very expensive.
Yes.
So it's 40 magic resist at 2, and then it's 120 magic resist, and that seems okay, but like it's not anything great. And I've never used it. Have you used it?
Yeah, I just get it because of the builds I do. Like if I do like get a Soraka, get a Yi, you've got Mystic there. C tier, I'm gonna say like at least B, because since it only requires 2 people, you can just ham-fist it into your team. Honestly, that's a big thing for me, is just ham-fisting them into your team.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of those synergies that you can just shove in there, because they made so many that only require like 2 people. And with Lux in that, you can put in, well, Lux doesn't fulfill too many of the ham-fisting ones that benefit the entire team, but it's still pretty good.
So basically what the thought is here, I guess, is that it's like not your main game-winning synergy.
Yeah, no.
But it's like a good side synergy to get along the way.
Yeah. I'd say B at least, because, well, you got a Light Mystic, Shadow Mystic, and Yi, and then the other one is Wind, and who's the other Mystic? I'm trying to remember.
Nami is Ocean
Nami,
Mystic.
yeah, Ocean Mystic.
B seems good. Okay, so
yeah.
Berserker. Berserker's one that I actually know.
You do know this one.
You get cone damage, and it goes up in percentage with the more Berserkers you have.
It goes from 50 to 100%.
There you go. Yeah.
It requires 3 and 6.
It's actually 45 to 100, but like close enough. It's pretty good. I could see like you main synergy Berserker-ing. That's like totally a valid thing to do. They're all pretty cheap. The most expensive one is Olaf. You get glacial buff by default. If you get all of them, it's pretty good. I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, I think just because I would say S, except for the fact that Rangers counter it by being out of the cone for the most part.
Cool.
But it's a really good one, because you've also got Renekton in there, and if you throw in one other desert champ, you get desert buff. You got Scion, you can throw in Shadow if you really want it. It kind of requires the full synergy.
Yeah, it's not even a 50% chance. It becomes immediately better when you get all of them.
Yeah, because it's just 100, and they're always going to do cone damage. So yeah, I think A is a good place. I feel like that should be mentioned too. The current patch, I guess, is just the release one, 9.22.
Next up is Avatar. What is Avatar? I know it's like a 1 champion thing. Only Lux can be an Avatar. An Avatar's origin element is counted twice for trait bonuses, so you get like double traits on whatever her random thing is?
Yes. If you throw in 1 Ocean Lux, it counts for 2 Oceans, and because Ocean is a 2 buff, you immediately get... That's an S tier, honestly,
yeah,
just because.
Just like... This is basically how good is Lux, and Lux is very good.
Yeah, Lux is amazing in the current patch as it stands.
Blade Master.
For each tier, you attack an extra time. So at 2 out of 6, you get 1 extra attack. 4 out of 6, you get 2, and then 6 out of 6, you get 3.
Yeah, and it's a 40% chance to trigger the additional attack.
Yeah, it's a 40% chance. So I'm gonna say S. For the reason that, because it's now 246 instead of 369 like it was in set 1, you can very easily just get 1 Blade Master like person and then make somebody else a Blade Master with a Bork.
Okay, but to get all 6 Blade Masters, you need to create 2 with spatulas, because there are only 4 in the game. I think because of those reasons, I think it's only an A for me. Because
okay, that's high A though.
Yeah, I think that's valid. It's like a higher end of A. We'll put it up. We'll put her up here. Look at that. Electric. Whenever you do a crit or receive a crit, you get like an AoE shock effect that does 70 damage at 2 and 250 damage at 3 and 500 damage at 4. That's interesting. It's a 2-3-4. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's because Lux can be an electric. So the idea is you get 2 electrics in a Lux, or like 3 electrics. I think there's only 3 electrics in the game. Volibear, Ornn, and Zed.
It's not something you build around. But it's like a good side buff for like Glacial or something.
Yeah, it's also good in the fact that Zed right now is in a good spot. Yeah, I'll say high B just because like it kind of requires getting full, because even at like the tier 1,
It's not a lot of damage for sure.
yeah, no, it's not a lot of damage, but it does proc very often. And honestly, also Ornn is in a really bad spot right now.
Yeah.
He's not
And
very good.
there's ways to make it proc more if you build like a bunch of crit
Yeah.
stuff on someone and then they go crazy.
If you get assassin buff with Zed and give him like an infinity edge, he'll be critting very often.
We got light next. When a light champion dies, all other light champions gain attack speed and are healed for 25% of their maximum health. 10% attack speed buff at 3, 20% at 6, and then 35 at a full 9. I guess it's pretty good all around, because you get the 25% heal no matter how many light things you have.
I'll say A. I don't know what you want to say to that.
I'll go with that. I've only played with it a couple times. Next up is Druid.
Oh,
Druid buff.
Vision F.
You
Druid
think
is
it's F?
ass. It is not good right now. Its healing is not enough, and all the Druid champions are pretty.
40 health per second and only tier 1s and 2s. It's not great. You definitely can't build around it because you only get like the 1 tier of it.
It's only healing the Druids. If that were like a team buff, it would be,
Yeah, that'd be a lot better.
but it would also be very broken at that point. The fact that it's only healing the Druids, it's not amazing. I say F, just because like, was it Ivern's not good? Put that back down. I see what you're doing.
I think it might be good
wanna
early
put it on the
game.
board?
Good early game.
Do you want to put it on the black line?
Sure, we'll do that.
Bam.
Woodland. I'm not gonna. This is like temporary. This is me setting it there for now.
Yeah.
It is at the start of combat. A random woodland champion makes a copy of themselves. I think that's immediately better because there are more than the 3 of them.
There's 4.
There's 4 in Lux. Yeah, if you can get copies of Lux, it's immediately a benefit.
E or low D.
Yeah, low D.
Low D is good.
Alchemist. Where's that on here?
Another one of these where it's just a 1 person.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. Alchemist ignore collision and never stop moving. So what?
It only goes on Singed, and Singed's whole thing is he just farts and runs around the map. It's literally just a pro Singed player. Like, you watch him in there, it's just, when you edit this, just add some gameplay of Singed and then add silver scrapes to it, is what's gonna happen. Because, yeah, no, Singed, he's just a guy, he just leaves a cloud of gas behind him.
Okay.
And so the idea is he doesn't auto attack like normal. He just walks through people, leaves the cloud of gas, it damages them for a while, and he moves on to somebody else.
So he does big AoE damage and runs around the board?
Yes, and he's super hard to lock down because of that, so
he's good, is what you're saying?
He's really good right now.
But is yes.
He's low S, I'd say.
Win. It's bad Yordle.
It's bad Yordle, except for the fact that it gives to the entire team.
Okay, fair enough.
And it requires 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
It is highly reliant on the wind map, I would say, with the elemental hex system, because then you get Kiana going in and she's a wind.
Yeah.
And you can have Yasuo, Janna, Kiana, and you're not reaching full buff unless you get a Lux.
Yeah.
But you can at least get it with a tier 2, 3, and 4 champ. So I'd say mid A.
Sure, but I think you're being reliant to do like actually well on like the map and the Lux is like a little inconsistent.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
But I still think it's like a B maybe. Summoner I like a lot personally, but it's tough because I think for some reason I can never fucking find them. Maybe it's because it's really good and everyone goes it. It's basically shapeshifter. You summon things, and then the buff increases the health of the summons or the duration of it, and it increases it by 40%. And then if you have all 6, it's like 100%.
I'd say it's S tier, low at least S tier, because and it is kind of the shapeshifters, but it's also got some unique stuff. Like Yorick's he casts his ability, blesses the lowest health champions to come back as ghouls.
Okay. Ranger buff, which is every 3 seconds, Rangers have a chance to double their attack speed for 3 seconds. And it's 30%, 60% at 4, and 100% at 6.
It's easy to get early. It's good to put in a team, especially because like you got some really good champs there. You got Kindred, who's in a really good spot right now. The tier 1 of the buff, it's not doing much.
I often like side build it into many comps. I think it's pretty A.
Rangers do a night, so yeah.
Ocean. All allies restore mana every 4 seconds. And you get plus 15 mana every 4 seconds at 2, plus 30 at 4, and plus 50 at 6. It makes more abilities happen.
You can just sort of put it in your comp if you have 2 extra slots.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Lux, so you can...
It has Warden buff by default if you get Nautilus and Thresh.
It has Mage buff too if you get...
Vladimir and Syndra. It's really easy to build Mage off of them. I think they work really well together.
Essentially, if you're going Mage, you're also going Ocean.
Pretty much.
That's really good because
they really synergize. So I think we should put Mage and Ocean like here. Just both of them
in
side by
that
side.
mid area.
Well, I've won like 2 games with this comp. I think it's really good. Ocean Mage comboed Wombo.
Steel.
Oh geez. I think this might be a perfect mid C.
I think, yeah, I was looking at him like that might be the C.
Yeah, Steel Champions gain damage immunity for a few seconds when they are reduced below 50% health. So it's like, okay, 2, 3, and 4, and it increases to 2, 3, and 4 seconds of immunity. And there's Rek'Sai, Nocturne, and then the way you get 4 is through Lux.
Yeah, it's very much
Dead center, baby. Poison champions apply neurotoxin when they deal damage, increasing the target's mana cost by 50%.
That's probably the direct counter to Mage and Ocean. Let's say like low A, high B.
Okay, we'll put it high B. Tell us why we're wrong, please. I need to know.
Put it higher up in the B. Summoners are in a good spot, so countering them is a good idea. Oh, I thought you were just gonna put more to the left. I thought that's how we were doing.
Oh,
higher up in the tier.
I honestly was not doing that.
I did. Do we have a thing?
No. I just
Okay.
literally I raise it. That's the entire.
Oh.
We're winging it here,
Just-
man. I don't know. If we can counter both of these things, like Summoner and Mage and Ocean, it's pretty positive to have it. We have Warden, which I think is pretty. It's very like you build it if it fits in your comp, like just by default.
It has a direct counter that we haven't quite reached yet.
We need some Fs, and we're shitting on Warden. Fuck them.
Shadow.
What's Shadow, Matt? Can you explain it?
Shadow's my boy. Alright, so Shadow works that it's 2 and 4. At 2, I think the innate is everybody starts combat with increased attack damage. Yeah, it's the innate, and then it's reset when they get a takedown at tier 1. At tier 2, with 4 people, it is you start combat with the extra attack damage, but it's refreshed when any shadow gets a takedown. So at full shadow, you essentially have one person gets a kill, everybody's now doing a ton more damage.
Yeah, it's 50% and then 100%, so the damage increases too. It's really crazy.
It's got like all good champions in it, and it's in a good spot, so that's some high S.
Boop, boop, boop.
I'd say in line with Avatar.
Predator. I think that's a solid E.
It does not translate into late game unless you got like a stacked item gold Kog'Maw.
Yeah, so Predator is a solid. You need 3 things to get any buff, and then it's immediately gold, and they just instantly kill enemies that are below 25% health. I'm sure it has synergies with something that we're missing or something. But it's like only okay.
Glacial's good, but Warwick's probably one of the better Predators.
Uh-huh.
Warwick and Kog'Maw are like the only good ones because Kog'Maw's ranged and Warwick has his ult that just locks somebody down. And
Speaking of Glacial, man.
ooh, I know you want to put that in S. You've
I
won.
kind
a
of do.
lot
I've won
of
like a
God,
majority of my games with Glacial.
I also want to put it on the line between S and A.
You can do that. It is a little situational because you need that spatula to complete it. Next is Desert. Speak. Go.
Okay, Desert is at 2 champs. You get 40 of the enemy's armor, like all the enemy's armor gone, 40%.
It's 50.
And then at 4 champs, you get 90% of their armor gone. You can ham fist it into a team. I'd say S. Like, nah, that's high A.
Yeah, you're right. But I think I want to put it in A because I don't really have a reason. Just because it's best against Warden, which is not great.
Okay, I'll accept A. I want to put it S, but I can accept A.
A it is.
It's probably one of the better ham fists, I would say.
I agree. Mountain. At the start of combat, a random ally gets 1500%, or not. Oh my god, 1500%, 1500 health stone shield.
I'd say it's F or E.
We'll put it low. We'll put it low E. Assassin.
It's only 3 and 6. I think it was upped back to 10% crit chance because it was at 5% crit chance before.
10% and 20%, and it increases damage 75% and then 150%. I mean right here. That's where I mean.
Right there. Yeah, it's not nearly as good as in set 1.
We have Inferno. I think it's pretty good. I like Brand. He does mad deep. You get Sorcerer buff pretty easily with Annie and Zara. It works into Ranger comp with Varus and Kindred.
It's flexible, but you want it to be on like people who have good abilities, which most of the Fire people do. It was all okay until the Fire Nation attacked. That to make me...
I'm willing to put it in B.
But that one might be the one we get the most arguments on, though.
That's okay. Please, come at me, bro.
Do it. Crystal.
Crystal champions have a maximum amount of damage they can take from a single hit. That's actually pretty good. 100 max damage, and then 60 max damage. So you really like, you turn your weak shit into kind of tanks.
You can't get one shot.
I'm gonna put in the middle. Any last changes or questions or whatever? Are you okay with this, is what I'm asking?
In set 2, there's actually, it's less of a focus on synergies a lot of the time, and more of a focus on champions.
I think the deviation that we have here is okay, but I think that we have so much at the top end. I think that speaks to how well balanced the set is. At least in our brains. This is probably not like a correct tier list or anything. I wouldn't use this in competitive play or anything. Like, don't hold our fucking words to the law or anything. I think this shows that the game feels good right now.
Yeah, aside from a few, none of them feel like they're truly awful.
Or insane.
Set 2 is definitely like looking a lot better. Like, I didn't get into competitive for set 1 because it was always just like a very stale meta of like Imperial Knights, or for that period of time where it was Void Assassin, then it wasn't Void Assassins because they got nerfed like the next patch. It was always just like there was one team that was really good, and here it feels like there's a lot of teams you could go that could work really well. And with the synergies that are only like 2 people that benefit the entire team, it's great.
Do you got anything you want to promote? Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to just say?
Subscribe.